Good morning, traders. Vennerman here with FuturestraderElite. You guys let me know if you can hear me fine and if what kind of lag we might have starting out here this morning. We will jump in to the charts. Right now this is set on the 1 minute. You can see we done come back and broke through some imbalance on the 1 hour right here, this green box, so we're going to remove that. We have some imbalance marked on the chart up top here, some off the 5 minute chart. Got some 4 hour zones down here we're coming up on, the 747, the 757, and then we got 695 to 705 down by the S2 pivot. Got the golden pivot up around 25,000. We can look at that as maybe some kind of magnet today, maybe if they want to take this to the upside. I'm going to hop this over to the 15 minute real quick. We have, let's see here. We got some more imbalance way down here. 467, 528. You know, I'm hoping we ain't coming down here in this area. Although it's not looking too good that we come up here with this drive up and hit this trend line. This is kind of consolidation up here in this whole area. And when we took out this right here, this 890 to 900, 890 to 900 area right in here, we got another drop off and a bounce. So we'll have to see, do they want to bring this back, pull this back in the morning when the bell opens? I know there's some kind of news coming out today as well. I think maybe jobs claims or something. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I just know there's news. I don't think it's come out yet. Probably comes out at the bell. So we'll see how that plays out for us. If we look at the overall structure of the market, of course, it's still bearish, you know, by a lot. So we had that huge down move, and what a drive that we had up on the right here from this when it dropped down here. But you see when it drove back up, I remember us talking about this to the left right here, and we never could take it out. And so it hung out up here for a while, and we're starting to drop back off. Hopefully we don't come back down here and test this low down here at 24,000. That would be pretty crazy. But with all the news out here and what's going on globally, so who knows? We just need to be prepared, have game plan put together. Right now at the open of the market here, when it opens, I'm going to be looking at, say, right now we're oversold on the momentum indicator on the 1, 2, and 5. They're curling up right now, trying to. And so we're in a spot where we could open up here in about 5 minutes or so and it just go up because all the momentum indicators are to the downside. It don't mean it will, but we're sitting in a spot where that's possible. We're also sitting in a spot, depending on the news and how they want to treat it today, that it drives it straight down. Even though they're oversold, they could stay down there and bleed for a while. Ideally, you would want to think if we did get a pullback that we would want to be saved by this precision entry zone down here at 607 to 617. That is if they get a drive. But look how it's sucked up out of this 4-hour box right here. It's a nice pull up. So switch back over to the 5 minute real quick. Yeah, look at how they sucked that right up out of there. 750 all the way up, we're at 790. 40-point move, easy right there. You guys have any questions, throw them in chat. If you're looking to get funded, you can use code FTE at Bull and Ox or Trade Day for the current discount. Hey, good morning, Melinda. Hope you're well prepared. Doing a little pre-market prep. Getting in the right frame of mind emotionally to be ready for the open. And take it nice and easy. We got back down on the 1 minute. Say they come up here and take out the 50 EMA right here. We could see some more upside. Well, we could. Every game plan is a little wishy-washy at the open of the market in the first 15 minutes. You could put a good game plan together and the market open and it'd be a no-go. So hopefully we'll just take our time, we'll be patient and let it open and see what it does. Currently on the 4-hour candle that we are working on, closes in just over a half an hour, and there's 177 points of range in it. The bottom of it is 751. The top of it is around 928, 930. So we got a lot of move there inside that. Excuse me. Looks like we got just over 2 minutes before the bell rings. So something to keep in mind if it is a news day, and if that news does come out in a couple of minutes. Going back to that 4-hour candle that I just discussed, at the top of it's around 930. Let's we're gonna draw something here on the screen here. I said that thing was around 930. The body is around 917. Let's do a box here. Let's say from about right there to about right here, just out of curiosity to see if they, if for some reason the bell rings and they push this to the upside real hard, let's see if it gets up here, because that'd be the top of that candle, and that would put a precision entry zone inside a 5-minute imbalance. Plus it being the top of the candle, they could try some kind of sweep up here right out of the gate. Might be a good short position. Just a possibility. It might not even come close, but it's something we should be aware of on the chart. If we get a straight up down move, then we'll worry about that when we get there and see what it does. I think yesterday when we was on the stream, I think I forgot to put in the 15-minute opening range when it got put in. I need to try to remember to do that today. All right, we're open. We're not moving much yet. All right, we see which way they're going to want to tear this off to. You got to think, if they try to pull this back here and take out this low to the left right here at 750, you might as well be thinking about coming to this 4-hour box if they do push it down. if there was news that come out at the bell, then it ain't making it move a whole lot. That's for sure. I don't know if they have what it takes. I'm thinking they take out this low. Could be a short play into the zone down here. And I'm going to try to go long out of this box down here. Because if they push this down, I don't want to short here and then they turn around and pop this back up. I'd rather just wait and see if they can push it here. Push it down here and I get long in this box. Otherwise, I'll wait for a trade to set up off of this. Maybe a break of structure or break of structure retest, something like that. Definitely not just going to hop into a trade for no reason. Patience is key here. So we have had a little bit of imbalance there, come back and tagged it to fill it. See if they try to keep on taking this up. It's not looking like a real good start to the day. Look at these double top wicks we have right here, around 813, 812. So we got to get up there and break that if we think we're moving up. And it needs to break it with some power, not or with some momentum. Don't just get up here and, you know, go sideways or do whatever it's going to do. Slow grind. Hey, good morning, Cole. Good to see you. I think for me right now, the best opportunity on the chart is to see if they're going to push this back down to this 4-hour zone before trying to maybe rip it to the upside. Unless they break this double top wick here, we could think about maybe a long. Looks like they might be trying to do it. Just like that. And I missed it because I was looking at something else. All right, we should. They need to push it up here and close it. And then come up here and they need to try to take out this structure right here at about 850. If they can take that out, you know, then we can get up here and maybe fill some of this imbalance up here. We got room for expansion on the momentum indicator, all 3 time frames. So just try to be patient here. Hold out. See what we can get. Come on, let's go. Did anybody try to get in around this breaker structure for a long? We'll see. It's got room. It's got room to go some more, so it don't mean it'll happen, but it does have the room. We closed right at the breaker structure. This candle here retested the 50 EMA. Okay. So right now everything still looks good. That would be a clean break of structure. Or I mean, well, yeah, I mean, it is a break of structure barely, but then get a clean retest to the 50 EMA. And then, you know, Now we got a buy signal on the 1 minute. Let me see about the 2 minute. No, but the 2 minute will be put in on this candle right here if they can push it hard enough. Melinda said she got in at 55. That's way down here in the 4-hour zone. Good job. Beautiful trade if you got in down there. Just want a simple little push here. Scalp out. Scalp out and maybe hold on to some. Maybe scale out with the last 3 if I can get out of these 6. Oh yeah, Melinda, you'll get there though. I mean, you'll find there'll be a trigger, there'll be something that clicks as far as being able to hold longer. Every trader's been there, been through it, always wanting to get out. I used to get out way too fast all the time, and I still do on some trades. But I've gotten way better at being patient and holding for longer. It's something about sitting through that red, or then having to stop out red when you can just take a quick 5 or 10 points and let that stack up, which is fine too. Base hits, they add up fast if you can get clean scalps. So, I'm not liking the reaction here that we're getting here. We need to bust through this pivot, or I might have to close out of this trade. I got way too many. There we go. Keep pushing. That's fine. I'd rather be out of some, but I don't want out right there now. There we go. Take some up there. Now I feel a little safer to hold for longer. If they can get this. They just can't push it hard enough. Okay. I'll just hold this one for now. Maybe if it gets back down in here and I like everything, I'll dollar cost average back down some. Still sitting right in the break of structure with my entry. I'm looking for a good push. I want them to come up here, break this structure to the left. Let's get our data box out and look at some things. Prior low 873. I don't know if that's right. It might be. Prior high 180. Prior open 15. I don't know if that box updated. That sounds like what it was yesterday. Anyhow, I'm looking. I want to see them come up here and fill some of this imbalance. The problem is now the 1 and the 2 minute oscillator, the kill zone indicator. It's you can see down here, it's got room to expand, of course, up here. So does the 2 minute. I just don't know if there's enough expansion in it to get way up here right now. Hopefully that's a fake out for a push higher. Oh man, I didn't mean to buy 2. I only wanted 1. Oh well, guess I'm gonna have 3 now. Come on, push. Take 1 there. The struggle's real right here, and there's no doubt. If they can get it though, it should push hard. They're gonna have to take out 835, 840. I think if they do take 835 or 840 out though, then it should take off. I'll protect myself down here because I'm not liking the way this trade's setting up at all here at the open. Rather frustrating, but we'll just have to manage the trade, you know? All right, I'm out. All that work for about a base hit. Didn't make a whole lot, but it's better than being red. And this is why we talk about all the time. It's just good to sit on your hands through the first 15 minutes of the open. To even deal with all that for that, I mean, it is money, but it just wasn't ready. If anybody heard, if the news has already come out, was it decent? Or I guess it could have been something close as far as it had unchanged, because there's a lot of indecision going on here which way they want to go. So yeah, Cole, I agree with that. Well, I remember there being a point in time like when I was just in this and I had 9 and I was in the red. I remember a time where I would just close my trade and take it instead of just hold it and manage it through. A lot of times I'll close them and just reposition, but then I'm already sitting in the red and it's harder to come back from sometimes on the psychological side. So now I try to sit there and manage through them. It comes back and gets all of us, Cole. I try not to trade pre-market anymore either, unless there's an absolute something trade setting up that I can put a plan around and the ATR is decent. But other than that, I honestly try to stay away from pre-market as well anymore, for the most part. Cole, it's great that you've been able to pinpoint that and realize that, and I can understand that. As a trader myself, I understand exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, Melinda. Yeah, pre-market can be. See, I knew I wasn't liking the way that this was shaping up. I'm glad I got out with a little bit of green to see what's going on here. It when you got a trade plan, we had a trade plan. We talked to the trade plan, but it started doing this, and when it don't immediately give you a candle that you're looking for after, you know, a break of this and a retest, and you get, you know, like maybe this one here, had it closed up here above the S1 pivot, a nice green candle, we'd still be in the trade. But the way it kept pushing and fighting here, I immediately was thinking to myself, I don't even want this trade, but I want to try to get out, you know, with some green or hold on as long as possible. But yeah, I didn't like the way that's setting up. You don't want to put the trade plan together and then they go into some kind of chop mode. Then it's time to get out. All right, I'm gonna move this over to the 15-minute. Well, no, not yet. We got about 45 seconds or so, and then we can put in a 15-minute box. I guess I go on and switch to that because I'm not taking a trade yet. Looks like they're going to try to push this down, maybe, like we was talking about, to this other 4-hour zone. I will take one out of there, though. Because you can see we bounced out of this zone around right on this trend line this morning, thinking maybe they will protect us there. If they, plus we're we're almost oversold as we can, not as we can be on the momentum indicator, but it's got a little room to expand. It should have enough room to expand down there to that box. So it's 846. Looks like this is our 15-minute orb here. Yeah. I'm gonna switch back to the, I'm gonna switch to the 5 real quick and see if we got anything we need to look at there as far as imbalance goes. So we busted out of the bottom of the orb. And straight down to the 4 hour down here. Hopefully they don't drop hard. It's not looking like getting much of a bounce there. Maybe just be a sweep here. Hold on for a second because we are I don't really want to buy any more down here in case they decide to drop this, but we should see some kind of relief here. Maybe not. We'll see. I might end up being red. I have to close out. Oh, nice. Come on, push it. That's what I want to see. Come on. Y'all got to get up here and at least tag this wick. Feel that imbalance there on that drop. And then we got a more imbalance right up here. Nice. Come on, let's go. Protect a little bit there. Maybe I should make that 3 instead of 2. Come on, push. Find them legs. Find them legs. Let's go. Nice. Come on, push. I'm going to follow tight with the first 3 just in case it pops back down. They act like they want to push it. All right, I need to adjust this. 1. No, I'll take 2 off there if it comes back. Come on, let's push. Better put 1 here just in case. Excuse me. Take this one off. See if they can get some legs behind this and start expanding right here. And then see how much time we can let this ride. So we did good picking up in the 4 hour zone. Did anybody get long in that 4 hour zone down there at that pivot? I got long, got in the green, copy trading right now, 6 evals. So hopefully we can put a nice base hit in it here. Well, we already have, even if we stop out down here. Nice. Melinda said yes. Are you still in it, Melinda, or did you scalp out already? We're going to have you holding before you know it. Break a structure here. If they can break this and get above that 50 EMA, we might, since I only got 1, I'm going to try to let this breathe. But like if you was going to, if I still had, say, 3 or 4, I'd take profit at the 50 EMA. I would have took profit to break a structure here at the 50 EMA, probably the S1 pivot, and then if I had one left, I'd let that one ride if we still had room to expand to the upside. And we have quite a bit of room to expand to the upside. So question is am I too tight here? Should I give it more room to breathe? Maybe I need to bring it down here somewhere. Although I did that in one of our trades yesterday and gave back way too much, which was fine. I was still already in the green pretty good. So this is about, I do that because it's about lessons, you know, trade management, risk management. So we got stopped out of the trade. That's not at that high. After fees, they're still around 380, 390, something like that. I'm going to keep trading these for now, I think. I think you talked to me about that before, Cole, about going long on them big drops, but that's when them are a lot of times your biggest opportunities for your biggest drives. You should always think that if there's a 100-point drop or a 120-point drop, not necessarily always that, but say this up here at this S1 pivot, that S1 pivot was at 820. By the time we got down to this box, we're 100 and, well, it come all the way down here. So, I mean, we're well over 100, maybe 140, 50 points. Anytime you get a drop like that, if you can drop into a high time frame zone or support area with some confluence, you should always expect that you are probably going to get you a pretty good bounce. But you need to correlate that with your momentum indicator, or whether it's the kill zone or some other momentum indicator or some type of MACD. You need to correlate that with all that, because if they're not quite extended enough into the direction, you might not get the bounce yet. And that's why the 5-minute smooths a lot of that out. See, the 5-minute had room, still has room to expand down, but the 1 and the 2 was getting down there pretty good, like right in this area. And so it was a relief bounce. And now we're going to maybe get that continuation down on the 5-minute indicator, because it did not cool off enough yet. And it don't always have to, the 5-minute don't always have to get down here to the 80 area, but we can witness this day in and day out as we walk through these trades. And I talk about using the kill zone indicator every day and how much I'm relying on where those are at versus price action. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Switch over. And if you need to, just stop for a minute, you know, walk away, take a breath. It's not that big a deal. We've all been there, me, you, everybody else, and you can get it back, you know, if you can walk away, regroup, and replan a trade. I will say to your comment about hard time going long on big drops, I can agree that it's harder to do that in a bearish trend. Now, if we was in an uptrend, in a bullish uptrend on the higher time frame, it's easier to think about this trade than when you're in a bearish. And that's what I've been talking about almost every day when I say, you know, this trade might not work because of the trend we're in on the higher time frame. The same trades act differently depending on the bias of the market. And once you understand that and can wrap the mind around that, then some other things can become easier as well. But you still have to have relief. You know, on big drops, you still got to find relief. The thing is, you're right. It don't have to happen here. During this bearish market, there's been plenty of days, and I know you've witnessed them as well as I have, where they'll just tear through a 4-hour zone like it wasn't even there. I think a big part of that, though, is also paying a close enough attention to the kill zone indicator. depending on where that is on here, should help determine whether or not we might push through a 4-hour zone. And I'm talking about, let's say it's not a news day, it's just a regular day. But if the kill zone's up here around the 50-yard line and we're coming into a zone like that, I would steer clear. Now we're coming down to this 4-hour zone, and look, we're under this, looking like it wants to try to curl. And now look at this. I'm going to hop the trading view chart over here real quick. Look how we're trying to curl over here on this 1 minute down here. And then the 2's all the way down here, and the 5's finally reached almost to 80. So you got to think about how that 5 minute correlates with that 4-hour precision entry zone right there. Because there's still enough room for the 5 minute to expand down to that zone. So the 1 and the 2, they could pop up a little bit and just turn right back over so that the 5 minute can get down here. Or we could trade sideways. Look at the left of the chart here on the kill zone. Look how we stayed under here and just traded sideways, and the price action slow grinded down in pre-market. Now, I kind of like this candle here. I don't like that it didn't get all the way down here to this zone yet. So I'm going to hold out for now. We're not in any kind of rush. You know, we're about a half hour into the market. And I want to see what they're doing here. Are they going to bring this up? Look at this long wick to the left. What if they bring this up? This is the inverse side. I was talking about this on a run up the other day. I was talking about a wick to the upside, and when they did a pullback and looked to the left of the chart, there was a crazy long wick like that, and they came and tagged it and then went back up. They can do the same thing here. Come and tag this weird wick over here and then drop it. So now we got imbalance way down here. I was just talking before the market opened about I was hoping they wasn't going to pull it back down here. This 600 mark is the line in the sand today. We have to hold that. Let's get back to the 1-hour chart and look at that and why. So look, we're right back where we had that gap down the other night. And we look at this move we made to the upside. And now we're back down here testing where that drop was at. So when we did that overnight and we came up and closed that gap, look at this sideways action on the 1-hour chart before that huge candle. We need to be protected by this. If we're not protected by this box at 607 to 617, so we could say 600 because it's a whole number. Maybe they sweep the box, tag 600. But look, we got imbalance down here on the 1-hour, 467 to 528. If they break that box, we're probably going to feel this. And then you got to think about where this is in this wick right here. Maybe they just come to the middle of this box. And I think that I just seen 500 flash on there. Yep, 500. 495 to 500. So let's just put that line right there. If they break that box, you got to think we might be coming down here to this line initially. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Ideally, what we're going to see is they're going to, if they do come down to that 4-hour zone, hopefully what we're going to see is a bounce. You know, and maybe that be the low of the day if they come tag it. That's what I'm looking at, if that helps. Now, I like this push out of this. I need to scale down here because I think I might try to... do I want to do it? Yeah, I mean, we're good to try to make a run to the upside. On the indicators, anyway. God, I would hate to get long here. See, it got up here, broke structure, and sucked back down. You know, it's almost, I have to break back above 700. They break above 700 and close, I might take a long to scalp, or maybe see. I got too antsy there. I did not mean to do that. All right, now I just want out. Why did I do that? So I guess I'm going to try to play to the 50 EMA with one of them. But see, they could come back down here and tap this wick down here for imbalance on the chart right here. Man, I do not want a dollar cost average down that far. I'll put one in here because I did not mean to buy that yet. Wanted to wait till they close above 700. Put my finger on the trigger and accidentally hit it. The old mouse is a little sensitive some days. All right. We got room to expand big time to the upside. If they finally want to find some legs and push this here. So I'm going to move this all the way back up here to the S1 pivot and see if I can hold on to it and not get stopped out. Anybody get in this long here for this move out of this area? It's a beautiful leg right there. Beautiful leg. Who thinks we can get back up here to the S1 pivot? Oh, look who Natalie's here. Natalie didn't get in it. Come on, Natalie. Why not? You can still take break of structure right here at 728. If it breaks 728, then you got to think if it breaks 728, might need is immediately, if it breaks 728, it'll probably at least push to the 50, and you can move your stop to break even or keep it tight if you want. But if we break the 50 EMA, we're probably getting up in here somewhere. They're going to have to reject the 50 EMA or they're going up because there's way too much room to expand on the momentum indicator. I'm going to hold out with what I got. I might be a little wrong about that. Well, 728.50 is this big red candle down. You know, each one of these step downs is a structure break. Now this is on the 1 minute. So if I look at the 5 minute, structure break on the 5 minute. Oh, I see why you might ask me that. 5 minute is 767. Would be these wicks up here. This long one right here would be a break of structure. Each one of these breaks on each one of these legs down is a break of structure. Like this is a miniature break of structure right here when it took this out to the left with this big candle. And each one of those stacks on one another until you start breaking high time frame structure. This will be the 5 minute. We get up here and break this. This will be a 15-minute break or a 30-minute break if we can get back to the top of the orb. Every day, that's how I count them. I start with my mini breaks. I call them miniature breaks on the 1 minute and let them stack up. And each one you can take out on the left of the chart means that it's a higher time frame. And the higher you get and the bigger time frames that you start breaking, you start finding more momentum to the upside. If they break. Otherwise, you get rejection. Like I said, we get up here to the 50, we might reject. But there's so much room to expand on the 2 minute and 5 minute. This thing could reject right here. I mean, it could come stop me out if I put a stop here. It could go against me because look at the crazy imbalance right here on this 1 minute. I mean, it could come back down in here. So I might be willing to hold this into the red for a bigger push because the 1 minute might get a little heavy on the overbought side and need to pull back some so that the other two time frames can catch up. You know, we get back down in here and test the middle of this box where this structure break is to the left right here, this small one. And then it could come back down and fill it here. Or they could say, hey, we're in a bearish market. We're going to come fill that and we're going to come down this 4 hour box. Man, I hope that ain't what they do. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop out right here because I'll just re-enter the trade if that happens. Can't be doing all that. So, I mean, I gave a lot back by not getting out up here at 50 EMA, but so if I get stopped out, I can reposition for a long trade out of here if it sets up. Does that help, Jeff? Man, I'm windy today, ain't I? Just talking away. I hope that helps. Natalie says it's skittish. Well, you was right, Natalie, not to get in it. Well, you still could have took this break right here and took it to the 50 like I was talking about, but it would have been a fast trade. That's a scalping. Are you much of a scalper, Natalie? All right, good, Jeff. Thanks, Melinda. Now I'm going to stop out for next to nothing. So, Natalie, yeah, Natalie, you like to scalp? Right. All right. We're going to, if you like to scalp, we'll get you feeling a little more comfortable about taking some of these scalps like this up here. Because that would have been a nice scalp. In at 728, out at 740, 745 if you could have caught the top of the wick. All right, let's see if they pull back into this box. They just tapped the S2 pivot. I want to see, look at the room we have on the 1 minute here. We never quite got overbought. So because the 2 and the 5 where they're at right now, this could roll over. Let us pull back, tap the 50-yard line, maybe even dip below it, kind of like it does back here. Dip below it, and then curl back and go up. Or they could say, I don't know what I'm talking about, and just push it up right here. Either way, we got to think there is room to expand to the top side on the 1 minute, so it can bounce here, and this can curl back up, get up here and overbought, which might push this up here to the structure up here at 765 area. Structure going to the upside is just like structure to downside. For each crack to the upside, you could find more and more momentum. Now, something funny that is shaping up right here that we got to pay attention to. There is a head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder in play right here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder right here. So, it's ugly though. It's still what it is though. It's a funky head and shoulder, but it's there. So, say that we got left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Looks like it's in some kind of chop consolidation instead of another leg up. But if they can get this leg right here and close this leg above this neckline, preferably up here inside this 4-hour zone, if they can find one green candle that does that, we need to be thinking that, okay, now they might be ripping this to the upside. Just another scenario, another thing that I see when I'm looking at the chart that could add confluence to a break of structure, a break of the 50 EMA. It just adds to everything because there's a lot of people that play inverse everything. They'll play head and shoulders. They'll play inverse head and shoulders, cup and handles, inverse cup and handles, wedges, flags, all the little nuances out there that you can learn about trading. There's certain traders that just trade certain setups like that. So you got to be aware that there's a possibility that there's several people sitting there waiting to pull a trigger here. And if there is, and this breaks that way with a big candle, and they all pull that trigger at the same time because they got the break they wanted, you're going to find a momentum to the upside. That is, unless the market makers say, oh, we don't think so, and push it back down. But ideally, they would let it rip because they know they're going to trap some traders. Hey, good morning, Swang. Swang is on with us again today. I appreciate the support, guys, and showing up every day. Starting to build a base of some of the same faces in here, it seems like. Oh, look at me. I got an order up there on the screen. Didn't nobody holler at me about it. Hey, what's going on, Rich? Glad to see you, bud. I was doing so much talking, I left that order up there, and I don't know if any of y'all was on here that day. I had them funded accounts get filled, and I was like, what in the world's happening? All I heard was order filled. We was in the middle of about to take a trade, and on a trade plan we was walking through, and all of a sudden all you hear is order filled, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and I ended up putting one of them funded in the red, and then got in the other one and did a decent base hit in it, and was able to bring the other one back. The one that went red was only $98, but $98 red and $98 red. I didn't like it. Hope everybody's staying safe in here this morning. Hope everybody's green or sitting on their hands. If you do happen to be down a little bit, I'm sure we're going to find plenty of trades maybe to help us out. Here we go. Big green candle. If they close inside that 4-hour box, this is inverse head and shoulder break, is what a lot of people are looking at. And you might find it. Thing is on the 1 minute, we're going to be extended probably in the exhaustion zone, but we'll see if they got it. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It sounded like the Great Dane back there was saying hello this morning. Pretty sure them dogs are about as human as we are. Yeah, they didn't like it. See, that's not what you want to see. They need to push that thing hard with a decent leg up. Without it, it's nothing. The ATR is around 25 on the 1 minute. That's almost 60 on the 5 minute. Pretty decent little morning though, with some of what we've seen happen since market open. It feels like they're in this little chop zone here, and if they break it, they're going to push it to the upside, is what it looks like on the momentum indicator, more so than the downside. You know, if they say can get up here and break through this to the top side, you need to just pay attention to the structure to the left. But it seems like the way they're setting it right now that they want to take it up. Because right now the indicators are saying bullish, but if they keep chopping it around, now the problem is they're chopping it around and the price action is going sideways and the indicators, momentum indicators, are going up. And if they keep doing that sideways, then you need to think, oh, we might be going down. Once they get to the overbought area, the exhaustion area, they may say, okay, now that we got momentum up here, we're going to short. They could do it from the top of this box and put a big leg down. That's something else to be cautious of. Either way, I think I'm just going to hold out unless they show us a really good break one way or another. You know, for all we know, you know, they could put in some kind of crazy leg down into this box right here. Hopefully not, but just in case. If they do, I want in it. So I'll put these down here. Rather be closer to the bottom, maybe like that. Just in case they do get exhausted up here. And that could be a trap. They throw in a fast leg to the downside, or one or two candles, and then take it back up. Seems like they would protect this low, unless they want to take it down here this 4 hour. Ooh, that ain't no good, Melinda. Are you saying that it's freezing, or it's like actually the system shutting down, like going off screen? I hadn't had any issues at NinjaTrader today, thankfully. Sometimes you do right around market open. Well, I've never had mine just shut down before. I think there's a... Wow, yeah. No, I had never had that happen. Are you on something that involves OneDrive on your computer? Hopefully, if it is, you ain't got it connected. I think me and you talked about that the other day, though, I think. And I thought NinjaTrader did an update, which I didn't do. I don't never let them do the updates right when they first come out. Seems like I used to do that. And it seemed like every time I did, it seemed like there was bugs that need to be fixed every single time. So now I'll wait. By the time I usually update my NinjaTrader to another version, they've already put out another version. I'm always one behind. I might be 2 behind now. I don't know. As long as it's working fine for me, I don't see the point in updating it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine, Allie. If your NinjaTrader's working fine, I wouldn't even mess with it. It caused me more headache than anything positive the first couple times I did it. And that was a big reason why I had to rebuild. I've had to rebuild my NinjaTrader twice, and it seemed like it always had something to do with the update. All right, here we go. We'll see if it's smart play. Get the move down. Maybe they don't come get it, but this is kind of what I was seeing form up on the chart. And excuse me, I'm not too sure. We got that room for put the exhaustion to the downside. This could be a danger zone to try to go long right here. Yeah, I don't want that. And I don't want this anymore. Well, I'll try out of the bottom of the box with just one. I'm going to have to keep size down because if they come down here, there is room to expand on the 1, 2, and 5. I just don't know if it's enough to get down to here without really being oversold. We'll take one here, see if we get a bounce. I'd like to get these at least over 400. I am, but not after the fees. I'm not. So I'm close, but not there. Melinda, that might be, you might need to reach out to NinjaTrader support and figure out what's going on with that. That ain't no good. I don't know of anything that could be going on with your computer that would make it do that, unless there's some kind of update you need there. I've just never had mine do that on its own like that. Natalie said she ain't done the last update. Yeah, I don't believe I wouldn't either. I haven't. I know I haven't. Because it reminds me every time I log in. We're probably going to get a fill here. It might even push against me from what I'm seeing here. But let's see if we can go with some base hits. I'm in at 663. See if they can push it back to 700. Say about the top of the box. We'll go 698. The low's about 630. What to do? What to do? Since I know there's some risk to put up here, down here on this trade with the way everything was shaping up, go in with one, you know, and then go in with one and then gives me some room to dollar cost average in if I think I can manage the trade down into here. Kind of like that push off the bottom of that box, so I'm going to move that to the 50 EMA just in case. I'll put my stop down here to protect myself. That way I at least get a small base hit out of it if it comes back. Shaping up really well there, but they're going to have to push harder than that. It's like they can't find the legs to push it any harder. Yeah. Can't do it. Well, they come back down here and filled this imbalance, so I'm going to take that off there. We got our chop zone up here. We put in, we broke out on the bottom of it. We're looking good on the momentum side. Well, on the 1 minute, looks like they could put a bounce in here, but there still could be some downside in play right here. I'm just gonna hang out for a little while. If you guys have any questions, throw them in chat. If you're new on here, which I don't know if many of you, I think a lot of y'all might be from Discord maybe, but if you're new here and want to learn deeper into all this, the precision trading course and all the tools and indicators are listed on gumroad.com. I can list that link in the chat if someone asks me about it and wants the link, and just check everything out. What do you guys think? We're gonna push lower here. We're gonna push down in the 4-hour box maybe, or do you guys? What trade plans do you guys have put in place right now when you're looking at the chart? Maybe give me something to look at. Maybe I'm not seeing everything. We're working so fast on the fly intraday that I know there's some things I'll miss while I'm looking at other things. So we went through there. We talked about that head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. It rejected out of that neckline right there pretty much. And so got a decent down move off of that. Well, that and the confluence, you know, couldn't get above the 50, couldn't do a whole lot, couldn't get above structure. Every time they try to do something here, they keep pushing it back down. Got to make you think they're working on some kind of move to the downside, maybe. And then you got to be thinking, well, where's that crack at? Well, it's under this 4-hour box for sure. 600. This is 607 to 617. 600 just below it. The whole number, psychological whole number levels are like magnets. So you got to think, if they do push this and push it below this box, you got to think we put that line in down there. It's like 496, 495, and then you got the 500 psychological whole number. So we got to be paying attention right here. It don't seem like there's a whole lot of bulls in the market, because they are struggling if they are. So then in return, we got to think, if we're going to be playing short, we need to find the best opportunities for a short. For me, it's hard for me to short where we're at because we're so oversold. I like to take my shorts when the momentum indicators are on the top side, on the overbought side. The only time I can take a short when the indicators are oversold is if I 100% see momentum come into the chart, into the trade. And you can catch momentum. You can see it coming in on the candle when it shows up. And then maybe, but not where we're at. This is a danger zone for the longs and the shorts. This right here is where a lot of people feel like they got to be in the trade, because they think that they don't know. They're just thinking it's going to go one way or another. And let's say that they're a bear and they want to be short. Well, if you are a bear, the reason you don't want to be short is because you're so oversold. That's not a great time to be getting in. And you don't just want to be getting in because you feel like you have to place a trade. Those are usually losing trades when you're just out there clicking the button with no plan wrapped around it. And as much as I'm a bear on this market right now, as much as I want to short it right now, I know that I have a better chance of making some green if I wait for a bounce after the drop, because I already know that I'm oversold on all my momentum indicators. So if they make some kind of hard drop to the 4-hour box or below, and I can time it right with the momentum indicator, I have a better chance of locking some green on the bounce instead of just jumping in a trade right here, because it could shoot a green candle up right here. I don't know if it will or not. Your Natalie says, I'm in that group I want in because I have sat on my hands all morning. You're in what group? The group of sitting on the hands, I guess, is what you're saying? There's nothing wrong with that. I say sitting on your hands is a winning trade. Oh, if you want to be in a trade, got to make a trade. Well, okay, we'll make you a trade. We can make some trades, but I would keep sitting on the hands for right this second. Don't jump in anything right here. Now, we could be thinking about taking a long play. Natalie, are you bear or you bull? Which side of it are you on? Or do you just trade both ways? Some people only look for trades one way. If you really want to get behind all this, you got to be able to trade both, I think. You leave a lot on the table if you are biased just one way. All right, so what we want to see form up, we're down here in this 4-hour box to the top side of it. What we want to see form up is we are oversold on all the momentum indicators, 1, 2, and 5. We want to see some consolidation here, maybe a little sweep of the box, but we need to see them prove to us down here at this level that they want to take this up. Maybe the 50 EMA act like a magnet, pull it back up that way, 700 area, maybe a little higher, maybe 750. but we can't react down here. I mean, we can, but there's still no reason to get in it long just yet because it hadn't proven itself. And this didn't set up in the manner of a first reaction type play, like, hey, I'm going to set my orders here like I will do so many times. But I usually do that in an uptrend, bullish uptrend. I don't do a lot of that on the bear side. So let's see if they can prove themselves. First and foremost, for them to prove themselves, they need to bring this candle up and close above this to the left right here. Miniature break structure right here. Down candle, got a wick coming out here, got a small wick here. So you're looking at about 660, 659, 660. We need to get up there. We need to see some momentum. And then a lot of times what you can do, if you can start getting this drive to the upside, when this 1 minute indicator on the kill zone gets up here to the 50-yard line and crosses there, there's several different ways to use this, but as far as a play being safe and then this play be safer and they get safer as you go, if you wait till it comes up here to the 50 and you're up here breaking small structure on the 1 minute and it crosses that 50-yard line on the kill zone indicator and you got a nice green candle close, then you can also look at entering somewhere around there depending on if it's at a structure break or a retest and it crosses. It's just another thing to pay attention to. Excuse me. Got us so they wicked out the bottom of it. We'll see if they can find some support down here to give us a push up. Now, I said if they come down there and broke his box, you could think about them coming to fill this imbalance, possibly tag this whole number down here around the 500 area. I can't see them pushing that all the way down to there from where we're at on the kill zone indicator, but I mean they could if they keep it down here and trade it sideways, stays on the oversold area. It could grind down there, but seems like they would find some kind of area here for some support or bounce. And that could be at the 500 area. I mean, if anybody took this short out of here, up here in this chop zone, break the chop or under the S2 pivot, that was a great trade if someone did that. I didn't do it. Maybe we should have, but we was already so oversold down here. Now get a retest of the 4 hour here, right there on that 1 minute. See if they can push this up or if they just retest, keep pushing down. Oh, look at that. Looks like they put the leg in there. Got a little break of structure over here. They have room to move it up, that's for sure. If they can push this up here. I'm gonna roll it back over maybe. I was hoping they'd close this green candle up here and then look like they want to make this push. I was thinking when they pulled this back, you know, they might pull back down here inside this box to push that up, but I'm gonna have to close out of this, it looks like. Bad trade idea. Bad trade. Looks like they might want to try to push this on down for some continuation and downside. I better just sit on my hands for a minute. Well, looks like maybe I got faked out. Maybe I should try it again. Looks like it would be ready to set up for a long. I thought that back here though as well. This is where maybe I should sit back on my hands and wait for the indicator to get up here a little further on a push up, possibly the 50-yard line like I was talking about earlier. Maybe, but I'm going to take it here out of the 4-hour zone again and try this again. It is setting up like it wants to push. Melinda said it was a perfect bounce from a wick to the left on the 1-hour. Yeah, I believe that. Look at this. They not liking me today. Ooh-wee. It's all right. Getting chopped out down here. I rotated into another set of evals. We'll I'm gonna try to hold on longer to this one since I took that loss on the first trade. Had I held on to that first trade, I could have dollar cost averaged in it here and scaled out in the bounce and made a little bit. Come on, let's go. Thing can't find any legs for nothing. ATR is about 15, 16 on the 1 minute. Try to hold on here, see if this thing can find some legs. They could be down here, you know, flagpole down, got a flag being put in on the bearish side, and typically when everything is looking really bearish is when sometimes you'll see your pops. Like everything will be screaming, you know, don't get in it, it's bearish. And then bam, here comes, you know, a push. Come on, let's go. Nice. If they can push us hard enough, maybe I end up in the green a little bit. Come on. Find the legs this time. There you go. Push. Find the legs. There you go. Let's go. Nice. Anybody get in long down there? Come on. Get up there and tag them. Well, I can just have 3. Try to lock in what I can on the way up. Nice. I'm definitely back in the green. Well in the green. I've done more than a base hit off of this move. Nice play. Patience paid. I'll take 2 more here if it tries to turn around and stop me. Put them right here on this wick. Here on this break. And then I will put my other one. You know, I'm going to take 2 up here if it comes up here instead of stops me out. I'll take 2 at the 50 if we can get it. Can't. You're, oh, great job, Melinda. At least you're green in the majority. And if you've hit your base hits in the ones that are green, and all you have to worry about is the one that's red, and don't overtrade it, and just wait for the cleanest setups and get the cleanest execution, and might be able to get it back to the green. I mean, these 2 were both red when I took that first trade here, and they faked me out with that break. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Out. My God. Okay. Whatever. I'm glad I was able to close that out. Wow, look at this. What? There's some news this morning all of a sudden? What in the world? I had them 2 set that stop set and I had 2 up here to cover if it kept going up. But I only actually had 3 contracts left. So it stopped me out on the 2, covered the 1 up here at the 50, and then went short 1. That's what happened. But I was able to manage and get out of that and green all the way around on them. So I'm not going to complain about that. Nice. All green now. Patience pays. Nice job. Acan's on here with us. Jake's here. He said, buy the dip. Trump is doing something with oil. Laugh out loud. Tweet, tweet. Yeah, oil's been slow grinding back to the upside after that huge pop, and then it dropped all the way back down in the 80s, and now it's been slow grinding back up. So that big move, of course, got us exhausted on the 1 minute kill zone indicator. The 2 still has room for expansion. So does the 5. But this is an ugly move here. You know, they pushed that up pretty good there. Almost 100 points in that 1 minute candle almost. Not quite. Close enough though. So huge push up. Looks like they open up, gonna give it all back right here. I'm not trusting none of it. Gonna sit on my hands. If you guys are enjoying what we got going on here, give me smash that like and maybe share button if you would. Help try to grow the community. Yeah, I appreciate that, Rich. And I would appreciate that support. It does have that algorithm so weird. And, you know, likes, comments, shares. It loves all that stuff. Wow, what a move to give back. Don't trust it. Jake says he spams it. Jake, are you the one with all the fake FTE accounts? I knew it was you all this time. Wow, what a move. What a move for it to give it back like that. I'm not going to lie. All I have left to trade is funded accounts, and with what's been going on, I'm not too sure I even want to touch them with all this. That's messed up, Jake. That's messed up. I would never do that. 10 minis. So you got a fake FTE profile and you're telling everybody you'll trade for them with 10 minis? You the man. If y'all don't know, I've known Jake for quite some time. YOLO. I've tried to YOLO once or twice when we was doing stocks and options. One time it worked out great, and then one time it kicked my butt. Man. I can't buy the dip here. Can't do it. I don't trust it. Not right now anyway. Nice. Yeah, always hated it when I'd miss something because I was doing something else. While you was driving, dangerous. You need to get you one of them cop setups where you can got the mount in there. You could be driving and be able to speak to it instead of having to use your hands on it. And you can just speak to it and maybe it does what you want it to do. All this technology we have today. There you go. You know, we started doing those things in Discord, uh for likes, comments, and shares on the shorts, the video clips that I was posting, and then it seemed like people got kind of away from that, so we quit doing that. I don't know what you want to call it. I think if there's anybody on here, they know what I'm talking about, but I can't really say it. I don't think live. I'm not trying to get flagged on here, so I want to get back into doing some reward stuff for likes, comments, and shares and all that. But I got a bunch out there, 300 or 400 or 500 short clips out there, and a lot of them get a lot of views, and then I get some likes and every now and then some comments, but not as much as they used to. And that all helps drive the algo pretty good. Big push out of the 4 hour, swept the other 4 hour, come back to this 4 hour. I mean, who can trade that? I remember a time and day when I would have traded that whole move right there and blew probably 2 or 3 evals trying to do it because I was in it the wrong way. Now I just sit through it. I guess I could pull the old iPad out, see. Probably need to have that up anyway. Watching Yahoo Finance or something about speaking and talking and all that. Well, I can't do that. I use this iPad so little that it's dead, of course. Like, what's the point in having one if you're never going to use it, right? Yep. Dead as can be. Won't be using that today or anytime soon. I don't want to open up no live feed on the news or nothing on my computer because I got enough stuff running. What are you guys watching out there? Is anybody scalping, or is everybody kind of like waiting and wondering because of the move that we just got and thinking about holding off? ATR on the 1 minute's around 15, around 50 on the 5 minute. Nice, you scalped. Well, that is. I don't like the price action myself. I may have to switch back into some evals. I don't feel comfortable trying to mess around with this and no funded account. I guess I'm going to do that now while I'm talking about it before I accidentally buy something and I'm actually in a funded account. And then I'll be mad about it. Switch back over some evals. On a day like today with what's going on, you know, maybe be able to get some evals passed or get a little more in them and protect the funded until we get better setups and everything. Cole says I'm just read my trades have been nah. I mean, we have them days. Just hold tight, you know, maybe there'll be some light at the end of this tunnel today with some of this. We just need to give it time. That is, if you still plan on trading. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't give enough time, something's going to set up. You know, there'll be something. It's that time of morning. We could be getting into chop zone again here. Why it's trying to decide what it wants to do, the market. You know, oil's all the way back up to like 95 a barrel. So let me hop that out real quick. Switch that over to the 1 hour. Oil gapped up that one night and went up there and hit like 120, almost 120. And then it gave it all back the next day plus some. Got all the way back down to $76. And that thing has slow grinded back up to $95.96. Crazy move. Two evals, one funded. Still haven't touched my 3 Bullinox. Cold and Bullinox, aren't those funded? Aren't those the ones you said you was able to get hooked back in Ninja Trader? Linda says she thinks we have news at 1 p.m. We must be getting good reaction time. We're still around, must be 4 or 5 seconds on the lag because you answered really quick again. We have news at 1 p.m. Eastern, so 12 my time. What kind of news is today at 1 o'clock, Melinda? Or is it I thought the news came out this morning at the bell. I don't know when it came out. It ain't farm payroll or something crazy like that. Didn't the unemployment numbers already come out? Or claims or something, I don't know. I guess while we're sitting here looking at this chart, I could hop this over to, let's say, the 1 hour, because we can look at this 1 hour and look at some things. Hey, Joe, no, I do not record them. Well, actually, yes, I do record them as well as live stream, but live stream replays are always up on YouTube, so you can always go back and look at them there. I record them as well so that I can cut content out of them on the side, but and try to find certain pieces, where we might get into a spill here on the stream, and I be rambling on for 15 minutes about something, trying to explain it. I try to go through that 15 minutes and cut it shorter. It seems like a lot of people don't want to watch anything that long. And so I try to take key moments and then edit it and make it a little bit shorter, if that makes sense. If I can, some of them you can't. But there'll always be the replays on YouTube. They won't be going nowhere. So the only thing that I'm doing now is, after a stream is over and gets listed on YouTube, I go in and change the title and put to something a little bit different with replay in it. That way it ain't the same one as the live stream, upcoming live stream. Or at least I changed the title on the last 2 or 3. So that it says replay and people will know. On the 1 hour, we're getting down here like it's wanting to come down here to this other imbalance zone, which we had already discussed. This is kind of the line in the sand for me. If they want to keep pushing this down, I want to see them hold the 500 area. If they don't hold the 500 area, we might as well just give up. But we're not going to give up. We're not quitters. So hopefully they hold that if they get down there. They may not. But they're really not doing anything to me worth trading. And I don't really think that the ATR is at 20 on the 1 minute. That don't reflect price action that well, but it might take a minute for the ATR to catch up to price action. I don't like none of this. Somebody's probably looking at this, looking at a ugly head and shoulders right here. A left shoulder, big head, small right shoulder. Wish they would have got that break right there, push down, come back and close above, or it could reject out around this neckline for another leg down. That tomorrow I'm going to be streaming live, and at 9 o'clock my time, 9 Central, I'm going to start sharing screen with Humble Futures. They've been trying to get that done all week, and I think we're going to try it tomorrow and see how that goes. But I mean, I'm just going to screen share while we're live, and he's going to share mine somewhere on his side through Discord. So we'll see how that goes. Supposed to be on there for like an hour, I think, from 9 to 10 Central. And then still waiting to find out about next Thursday with my funded futures. Last I heard, we was still going to be a go, so we shall see. if you are new here and just getting here to the stream or just found us today, come join the Discord for free. Check out the channels we have in there and other traders from the Discord and the giveaway channels and everything in there. That's what I was kind of getting at earlier. I want to start getting back into that, and I'll be posting more about that in the Discord though. Melinda asked, can y'all still? Yeah, I'm gonna start my stream at the same time as always, and what you see, what you see on my stream is just what I'm gonna screen share that to them. It's gonna be on my side. It might be a little messy since he wants to share mine through Discord. I might have to keep Discord open and maybe be able to answer people in the chat over there maybe. And then I'm hoping it don't try to bog down my system because I leave Discord closed on the computer while I'm streaming. Anything I don't absolutely need open, I try to close it. That way we can have a clean stream without much lag. And if it does try to do something tomorrow, y'all have to let me know in chat because I'll just end it over there on Discord. I'll shut that down and just do our stream. And then if they want me to come back or something, that we'll have to do something completely different. You know, like I'll do it when I'm not streaming here. I'll go over another later in the day, you know, maybe power hour or something. Yeah, I did see the laptop. Jake, I pulled it up for a minute earlier this morning and was looking over it. I didn't get into much detail on it. I just whatever popped up around the screen, the main things that it does and what's in it and everything. I liked it. I'm gonna look a little more into it over the weekend. I appreciate you sending it to me. I think that would suffice better than the one I have for sure right now. Definitely bigger. Got more power. The one I run now has an i7 in it, so I know it'll be more powerful, and it's got more gig too. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Um, I got mine hooked that way now, but I had to do it, you know, through a certain kind of connector. No, Swang, I'm not. I'm gonna stream normal tomorrow. Our stream is still gonna be the same time as always. I'm just gonna share my screen with them in Discord. Yeah, I don't have enough ports either in this one. I mean, I'm using every single one of them. I got an adapter on one of the USB sides. Man, I got so much stuff plugged up to this thing. And I got, now that I'm doing so much content and streaming and everything, I got like, of course, I had to try to keep my memory on mine cleared out. So I got these passports that are like 4 terabytes that I download a whole bunch of stuff on. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look, like I said, more into it over the weekend because I thought about just going back to a regular desktop, something where I had a lot more ports already built into it. But I hadn't made up my mind. Everything still works fine for now, especially now that I can get all my data off mine into one of these passports. A Mac Mini desktop. I don't want a Mac though. since I'm running, there's a conflict there with NinjaTrader, and I got to download some other stuff. Although there's a conflict with Windows and OneDrive, so. It would maybe take me some adjusting because I've never used a Mac to do all this. I've always been on Windows. ATR is down about 13, 14 on the 1 minute. We are not looking real good. The one, just pull this over here and look at this. Bring trading view up real quick. As you can see, the 1 minute kill zone over here on this chart is oversold, oversold pretty good. The exhaustion is real across the momentum indicators. So question is where are we going to the downside? Going for the low. Jake says we're going for the lows. You know, I'm going to be looking at how it reacts to 500 down here. I can't get short even though I want to, because as soon as I get short, they're going to decide to take a leg up, and I'm not trying to be holding through the red for some kind of test of the 50 or dollar cost averaging in. I'd rather wait and see if we get some sort of bounce. And if we don't, I just won't take another trade today. If something don't form the way we want it to, I'm not just going to jump in a trade without no plan put together. I mean, look, we said, look at this little ugly head and shoulders on the 1 minute and put the neckline in there. And when we did that, it was currently in this box acting like it wanted to break back above. Finally rejected off of it. That leg right there is exactly why I can't short right there. Exactly what I'm talking about. Had I placed my short, had I just went in right there, it would have went straight against me as soon as I got in. I'd have been frustrated about that. I don't do that because I have done that. I have been that trader in the past. I've been like, oh, we're gonna go down here to 500. I'm just gonna go on short here for no reason, with no reasoning behind it, other than I was like, oh, they're going this whole number. We're going down. I'd go short right in this area. Next thing I know, it's 30, 40 points against me. So now I don't do stuff like that anymore. It's been a long time, but those are all lessons you live and learn through. And lessons that I want to make sure I'm saying to you guys in case you're running into any of those problems. And even once you are a seasoned trader, you're still going to run into the same problems. 100%. A lot of this is about being able to control your emotions while you're trading. You should not have any. But even the best of the best have days where their emotions come creeping up on them. If they tell you that they don't, then I would not listen to what they got to say, because it's a lie. Happens to everybody still. You got people that are really good at controlling them, you know, and maybe it don't happen as often, but to sit there and say that it never happens would have to be a lie. And typically if something is not going your way and you feel emotions creeping in, you need to start thinking about your sizing. You know, how many did I take? Why did I take that many? And a lot of times that's what makes people flip the switch. They get in a trade thinking one thing in their head and not thinking about the risk management on the backside with however many they bought, whether it be 5 or whether it's in micros or minis. You know, maybe somebody's 100% sure that it's going down, so they buy 3 minis, you know, right here, and then it drops, goes against them 30, 40 points. That's a huge loss if they're not using some kind of stop and they're doing it mentally. Then it flips the emotional switch. So for me, there's no more of that. There's no more just buying a trade right here because I think it's going somewhere else, or putting any kind of risk. I'm not even going to risk it with micros. You can use micros, and if you do it right and just say, if you do it with micros and do it right, you could probably dollar cost average and, save something, or, depends on what your risk management is, but it still don't mean that it's worth taking the trade. Jake says full blown tilt. Yeah, that's what ends up happening to a lot of people when emotions get involved, and then a revenge trading sneaks in. They start on that full blown and make the tilt even worse until it's depleted. You say you can't, you've been messing around with doing it, Melinda, but can't do it live. What do you mean? As in dollar cost averaging a trade? Are you saying you've been messing around with that and can't do it live? And if that is what you mean, what do you mean by that? Why can't you do it live? So you're not saying you can't do it live because of some kind of restriction? You're just saying because of the account size you can't do it? I know there are some prop firms that, well, I don't know for not any that I deal with, but I think there's some out there that don't really like you doing that, but not the ones I'm doing. That's probably why I'm not with any of them. Because if they, oh yeah, that's something you can't keep doing it, especially now. Say if you're talking about like with a sim account, yeah, you can't. You can do it, and you can go in there and set up your settings in NinjaTrader, to take deductions just like a prop firm, fees and all that, so that when you trade that sim, it is 100% like trading at the prop firm. Only allow set limits on how many contracts you're allowed to trade. When you can go in there and click on that account and edit it, and it will let you change all these things in it so that it becomes more lifelike. And maybe try that and do it that way. Because I do know what you mean. Yeah, you can't do that. Keep adding on sim. That makes sense. You have to treat it just like it's real. Otherwise, we're really not learning from the process. I'm pretty sure NinjaTrader has some features that I'm not even aware of myself. Because I've seen some things scrolling online here and there. I don't really know what they are off the top of my head. So I just need to dig into like NinjaTrader and look at some of these, try to find some other things that are capable of it. Because there might be some things I might be interested in. I don't even know they're there. Because I kind of like the way everything's set up now, the way I'm using it. But I learn new stuff every single day. Every day. I feel like I learn something every day still. I mean, it just seems like I've been trading a long time. It seems like sooner or later, but it's like anything else. With anything you do in life, it's like you never actually know everything that you think you know, because there's always something to learn. Always. Yeah, I can't talk to people that think they know everything anyway. Just nod my head and go on about my business. I know with all this slow grinding going on down here, I sure am hungry. It ain't even lunchtime yet. What happens though when you miss breakfast, I guess. Oh man, keeping it real, ain't you, Jake? You're so funny. I know it. You do. I learn everything I know from you. Go and teach us something else today. I might have to stop talking to you though, now that I found out you was the one spamming me with all them fake accounts for FTE. What are they doing here? They're gonna try to make some kind of little push. Don't get trapped in it, guys. Well, Melinda. Yeah, it is pretty fun. Well, we're neighbors though. Not like neighbor next door. Like right across the property there, but neighbor as in like neighboring states. And that was our job back in the day when we had that other Discord. I think we was the comedians of the group, probably. We took things serious, but we also knew how to have fun with it. Yeah, that was funny. It was. We don't use my Discord enough like that, or I'd probably add some of that stuff to our Discord, the Discord I have now. We hadn't done a lot of war room stuff. We have one in there. We keep talking about it, but I never knew how much, I never thought that I'd be on this side of things. Never had really any intentions on streaming and trying to teach or do any of that. And I don't know how I even ended up there, but once I did, this is so time consuming that, man, it just seems like I feel like I constantly cut content. When I'm not trading, I'm constantly on my computer cutting content. And I enjoy it. I'm glad that I did get in on this. I just never would have thought that I would have. It's not something I never had in my mind to do. So look at this push. Yeah, that's what I use now. Is cap. It's what I've been using anyway. Looked into several different things, but that's the one that I started with. Tried some other stuff, and I always went back to it. I think maybe because I was just so used to using it already. It's kind of like when you try to change platforms, you know. I like this little push we're getting here, but could be a sweep of the 50. You know, they need to break some good structure here to really get bullish here. That's awesome. Jake, that's awesome. I appreciate that, Melinda. I hope it does. You know, I'm going to hope that I can get enough reach and enough following that I actually make a difference for some people. Anybody that's been in the trading world long enough knows there's a whole lot of junk out there online about trading. So what I tried to do was cut through a lot of the stuff that I wish I could have found myself when I was going through the process, instead of wasting so much of my money on nonsense, is what I felt like I was always doing. You know what, Jake? You can keep spamming it as long as I get a percentage of whatever you're making on the backside. I would never DM nobody and do nothing like that. I got stuff out there on Gumroad, but I don't try to push it on nobody. But it's there if they want it. I'm never going to be that guy. A clear, cool, Millie. Man, you making good off my name, man. That ain't right. Oh, you're funny. I think I might, yeah, right, Melinda? That's what I was thinking. Maybe we get a retest of the 50 here for maybe a bounce. They got a whole lot of room for expansion on the 5-minute. So the 1-minute and 2-minute might try to cool off a little bit and then allow that 5-minute to expand, you know. I think I will try. If we can pull back here and this candle closes red, then it may come on and dip down some more, but they might just be cooling that off so that it can go up. Ideally, that's what I would be looking at. Otherwise, this is just another fake out, a sweep of the 50, and they're going to drive it lower. Now, earlier Jake was talking about heading to the lows. I don't know what price level he's talking about when he said that, but you know, they could be driving this down to the 500 area. You know, this could absolutely be a fake out. And they set it up, it looked really good, but look, they got up in here to this structure to the left, and it was exhausted on the 1-minute, and we're getting this turn down right here. And after these drives to the downside, that's what you got to start paying attention to, is for it to break these structure breaks to the left to get you a new support level, a new base to work off of. Because if you keep getting to these break of structure zones and it keeps rejecting, and like if we come in and put in a lower low here, well, we're probably going lower. Now, if they get a push, they come down and sweep the 50 this way. If they can push here and break this up here, it might be worth taking along. Maybe scalp out or take it back up to the zone. Depends on what kind of legs they can find under it. If you are new here and ain't from Discord, come over and join Discord for free, and then tag me. Tag me in it, like in the chat room or something, that you're new into the Discord. That way I'll know. Give me a shout out. I'll shout at you over there. 24.2. Golly, are you serious? Oh, you're talking about the low it put in the other day. Ain't that what it went down to? Yeah. You're saying 24.2. Over here on the 1 hour. 24.2 right here. We got us a lot of imbalance. We got imbalance zone from 133 to 207. And then we have a 4-hour precision entry zone from 210 to 220 down there. So hopefully we don't get that low today. I hope we don't get down there, but if we do, we do. But we got the chart marked up in case we do get down there. We got levels to be looking at. So I like that, Jake. Good call there. Cole says 24,350 was last week's low. Throwing them numbers out at me. 350, the S1 pivot, S3 pivots at 387. And so that's right down here. That's almost right in between our S3 pivot and our 4-hour zone. I could see that. You know, that's where these wicks got sucked up. It crosses through that zone you're talking about, Cole. Melinda, should I join as Melinda? You want to be like Jake? What, you going to try to spam me? Nobody can be like Jake. Jake from State Farm. That, I think that's up to you, Melinda. I know who you are in Discord, so I mean, that's totally up to you. I never really understood why so many people have so many different handles across so many different platforms. You know what I mean? Oh, so you have, I mean, you do what you want to do. I still know who you are. But now I know who you are after I asked you that day, and I know what your name in Discord is. But that's hard to keep up with. If we get too deep and get too many people on here following, you know, I'm sure I'll get lost in names probably. None of the OG people though that were here from the beginning, I'll always remember who was here first. But it's when you got somebody that gets on YouTube with a YouTube handle, and then they got a different handle on TikTok, and then they got a different handle in Discord, and a different handle on Facebook. You know, it's hard to keep up. Or then somebody will ask you something somewhere, and you see one thing, and then I've had them ask me something in Discord or on TikTok, and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm the one that asked that," and I'm like, "How am I supposed to know that? It's a completely different name." Okay, I might start doing that. I don't know. I've been doing it on here because if people can see you on chat, and I say Melissa, then they might be thinking, well, there ain't a Melissa in there. That's why I just been going by Melinda here on the chat. So I guess, oh, I was wondering why my chart looked so weird. I'm on the 5-minute. Because I was, all right, I'll come back up here to the 1-minute. Just had that push, and I hope everybody's staying safe out there on their trade, and I just don't like any of what I'm seeing right now. I like the thought if we're going to go down to try to play it short, though, for sure. As long as we can find a good entry, you know what I mean? Oh, gee. The OG hit the Discord, and Swang hit the Discord. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I know, Jake, you was already there, I think, but appreciate it, Swang. I appreciate everybody on here who's here early with us. You got to think we're kind of in the early days of this streaming, so and the last 2 days, well, I know I got on a little early this morning with the stream and still went over some levels, but the last 2 days I pre-recorded pre-market prep and posted it beforehand, about an hour or so or more before the market opened, just because it might just be easier to do it that way. And because we do so much talking and looking at the chart while I'm live, I was thinking maybe I'll just start the live stream closer to 8:30 instead of trying to get on 15 minutes early. Because even though I do get on early, we still cover a whole lot once the bell rings, back and forth on the chart. And I know a lot of people are in the morning might not quite be ready to jump on at 8:15 or so because they're still getting everything set in place. If they're not quite ready, they might still be getting their coffee or their, whatever their morning routine is. Me, I like to have my charts up, and I've usually got my charts up and broke down, like, I don't know, sometimes 5 or 6 in the morning. And then I start marking them up a little bit more right before the market opens if it's done anything. Gonna get that donut, Jake said. Do I? No, I don't. No. No, I do not, Melinda. About a year ago or so, I put all my focus in the futures. Jake says he's still on the 355. I'm not on it like that anymore. Not like we used to do that early. I don't. Some days I might be, but it's not a norm anymore. That used to be kind of the norm, which it kind of had to be on that side of things for what we had going on. If I would start, I thought about starting to try to get down earlier at night and get up and try to trade at 2 o'clock, because it seems like there's so many moves in the overnight session in futures between 2 and 6 or 7. What's this move about there? I thought the news don't come out till 1. Man, I can't even deal with this today. No rhyme or reason today, guys. Nice, Melinda. What's it going to do, though? Is it going to give the whole move back like it did right over here? I ought to get in this short, but I'm not going to, because this will be the time where it don't give it all back. Instead of giving it all back, I'll be stuck in it short, and it'll be up here to the moon somewhere. It needs to come back and fill down here to 620 to catch the imbalance that it put in, though. Wow. 621. Great job, Melinda. I wish I was in my fundage just now on that candle. Wow. I wasn't even looking at the chart. I was in the middle of doing something else, and we was talking so much, I was looking at something completely different at a different screen, and just happened to see a trading view 1 minute chart out of the corner of my eye because it was kind of covered up, and was like, what? Where'd that candle come from? Mm-mm. If I send you my login information over, are you gonna make me a cool meal by summertime? No, she said she took a break of the trend line from the chop. Smart play. I must be slipping because I don't even have a trend line on mine. You can have it by next Friday? All right, I'll send you my information over in Discord right away. Yeah, Melinda locked in on a nice trade. Very, very nice trade. You go, Melinda. Are we about to get the candle over candle, Jake, right here? They're going to get the next push to the next 4-hour zone? We'll see. I want to see them come up here and tag this next 4-hour zone with this break. They're going to take that wick out to the left there, though. 725-ish. We got some room for expansion on all the momentum indicators to the upside, so we'll see. We will see. Maybe take a couple here if we get this next leg up. Hit that wick. And then take a couple up here if they can push it. And hold on the 2 for... See how hard they push this. If they're going to push it. Ideally, if they really want to make a difference, they need to break 766 to the upside if they want to make a big move, probably. It would have to do some cooling down, though, I think, to do that. It'd probably cool down and pull me in the red. Need to break 720 on the 5-minute. I'm going to leave that at the wick. They need to break 720 on the 5-minute and then target 748, 750 is the next 5-minute break. They're holding it up well here, although we're exhausted almost on the indicator, so... They're holding it up well enough right now that it looks like it's going to be a glorious push if they push it hard. But that's the question. Are they going to pull it down and cool this off before they try it? Or is this just another fake out like it was over here? Wow. What in the world? Bam. Pop them evals. Should have known. I said, is it going to be a fake out? Tried to play the long. It's all right. Got me. Probably. That would be my luck. You know, it do that, pop my evals, and then come all the way back. That would be typical, for sure. No, I didn't even see that. All right, have a good day, Melinda. See you on the next one. Natalie says she's done for the day. I can understand that. I just lost them 2 evals. Luckily, they were just evals, though. Yeah, I'm just going to sit back again here on the hands for a minute. See what we have happen. Maybe I go over here and well, I won't worry about doing it right now. Maybe I pick up some more Bullinox evals here in a little bit. I think they extended the sale. I think it's still 89%. Yeah, Natalie, just walk away for the day and come back. You know, it happens. It happens. I took a couple there. Why didn't just take a loss? Lost the eval times 2. So I'm not going to jump right back into anything. right off the bat. Then like I might have to switch back to some other evals. I took that one trade just now on the funded there that I stopped out real fast on, thinking they was going to bring that leg all the way back up. So I'm just going to kind of have to hold tight here. The ATR is up around 20 on the 1 minute. I think I will do that. Let's see here. I'm going to switch back over to some different evals before I forget and accidentally get in something with my funded. And I'm going to try something different here. Let's see. The 1, the 2, 5. Under the 50 EMA on the 5 minute. You know, it was probably this candle here. It was that red candle there is on the 5 minute, rejected the 50 EMA. Man, what is this? Ugly, some type of ugly flag build right here. You know, this on the 1 minute's coming back around on this 50-yard line right here. I'm going to try for some expansion right here. Come on. Let's get a push. Let's get a push. You know, push the current 4-hour candle that we're working on. The high is around 747, 748. The low of it's around 561, 186 points of range inside. Got 2 hours before it closes. That can happen, Cole. Sometimes it sure can. Trying to put up a little more risk here on these other ones. Sound like how this turned down below the 50 right there on this drop. Man, man, oh man. They just don't seem like they have it in them. I'm telling you, if they could turn this and get above some of these key levels on the left, could really see something start here to the upside, but they got a lot of work to put in to get it there. Unless we could get something in the news like right now to make another candle up here to this 4-hour zone up here in that orb box. Killing me. And I had to try to protect these a little better. Already got pulled back to where these are getting close to break even. I had these up pretty good today. Come on. Give me a decent little push there. Send my average down a little bit. Come on. There we go. Do it again. Come on. Push up. Push. He said, to the moon. There we go. Good deal. Push. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Push this thing. You can do it. Nice. Come on, let's get some expansion in here. There we go. Come on. You can do it. Choppy, choppy. Ooh, what in the world? How did I get 10 of those? My order quantity ain't set that high. What in the world? Maybe I double clicked it. It set at 5. I'll take 5 right there if it'll give it to me. I don't want 10. I just wanted 5. Gonna be like that, huh? Man, went through all that mess just to end up back in this mess. Come on, let's go. Push this thing back. There you go. Now push. About time. Do something. Thought this thing was going to the moon. Expand. Put some expansion in there. Keep going. Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Now I don't feel so bad about them other evals. Oh, who am I kidding? I didn't really feel bad about them in the first place. Come on. Let's go. If they can break this. Come on, y'all got room for expansion. Quit messing around. Oh, come on. Give us the push. I got evals ranging from 25 to 150. I like to keep a variety. Come on. I'm gonna hold this one tight, that way if it stops me out, I can get out of 10 of these. Oh yeah, push. Push. A 1 out of 10 right now. Go on, give me some. All right. Nice. They're getting exhausted up here a little bit. So I'm going to protect myself with 5 here at the S2 pivot. Yeah, I want completely out. If they're going to come back down there and tag that, I want completely out. I'll take 3 if they can get up here. No, give me 3 down here. Or it's going to tag me. Yeah, out of the trade. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. Excuse me, well, I got tapped out of a couple. I got tapped out of a couple on that first try over here when it went against me. So not too bad. Not too bad. Man, is this the new chop zone? 4 hour to 4 hour here? What are we doing? Looks just like this. Are they going to reject back down in this area? Nice. Swing said he got 25 points off a scalp short. Beautiful trade. Nice. Man, Jeff saying super. It is. It really is. ATR is about 22 on the 1 minute. About 50 on the 5 minute. Nasty, nasty move. Jake, what was you talking about? Logged it and set default to 20. Oh, that's ugly right there. They gonna try to come take its low out? Or are they gonna bounce this here? uh, crazy, crazy. I agree with you, Swing. It definitely don't like 24/7 or something about that area up there. It just tells us though, when they finally find it to break it, it should be something pretty nice. They'll have some bears trapped there if they can get enough there and bust through that. Jake, you still got trade any Bitcoin? Or did you get out of that when it hit highs? No more crypto? I don't either. I might hold some. I don't really mess with it anymore, but I still hold, I think, a little bit of a couple things. I have to go in and look. I don't ever look. It ain't much though. I just closed one of the things that I still had some Bitcoin cash left over in one of the crypto accounts and got rid of it in the past week, which I think about closed the door for me on messing with all that. Too much to keep up with. But I unloaded the Bitcoin back. I think it was 124,000 is what it got up to when I decided to unload, which wasn't a lot. Y'all don't think I had any kind of Bitcoin. I had a little crumb of a crumb worth of Bitcoin. But it was a green crumb, so I had to get out of it. Nasty. It's a nasty looking chart today. That's for sure. Nice little drive up here. If you guys are you got anybody new here that is part of Discord, already part of Discord, don't forget, if you want to help the community expand, you can add the FTE profile tag to your username so that when you're in other Discords, they can see our Discord and what we're all about. Maybe they can show up to the live stream, grow together with us. So badly wanted to take a long down there out of that drop, but I just couldn't find myself to do it. I wanted to do it in a funded account, small. I guess I should have went small with it, because one micro right here, well, that would have been a nice base hit for sure. This thing sure is making it hard to trust, though. Most certainly. Got whiplash out of all this right here. We got whiplash right there. And then right when we could get our feet back under us, we got some more whiplash. As soon as we got our feet under us, whiplash. It's going to be like that the rest of the day. I don't want nothing to do with it. Swang, you saying, did you get one down here? One MNQ to see if it was going to hold? If that's what you're saying, great job. Great job. It's kind of my thought process down here. Oh, yeah. We both should have swung. Both of us. You're done? I should probably be done. I can always trade the funded tomorrow or next week or later today, power hour or something. I need this to smooth out a little bit better. This is insane. Okay, so you with Top Step, is that the only prop you're using? Yeah, you don't want to force it. You don't want to force it. Trying to get that 112 can turn into a pretty bad loss. Good job, Swine. Good job. Jake says it's the blow off top, baby. Maybe it is. We'll see. It's exhausted again up here. Every time we get close to this area, the momentum indicators are exhausted. But I do agree with you, Jake. But I think we need to break. I think if we're going to get it, we need to get above this wick back here. This whole area right here is too wishy-washy right here. But yeah, this 725 back here, yeah. If it gets that and get a big enough candle to get these next levels up here, I'm with you on it. I think it will. But I think the momentum indicators need to be positioned the right way to get it. Like maybe they need to chop this around, slow grind this up a little bit, drain the momentum down, and then find that leg at the break and then get a glorious push into this area up here. But with the way everything's reacting right now, I just can't see it happening. We'll see. We'll see if it proves itself. Swang's working on combines to fill. Got you. You like Top Step, Swang? I've never messed with Top Step. Looked into it a time or two, but I think if they tried to extend price right now from where it's sitting, and they do extend it to 725, I would be scared that they're going to reject it at this point in time, because of the way everything looks like to me reading the chart. Could be wrong about that, but I still think we'd be better off for, unless they put in a huge candle, we'd be better to slow grind this to the upside, get close to it, let the 1, 2, and 5 minute momentum indicators get down to the oversold area when it slow grinds up, and then just hammer down on it. Although somebody could start tweeting about something here in the next few minutes and that green candle shoot out on top of my screen. All right, here we go. See if they're going to try it. They're going to have to snap 725 pretty hard. The questionable thing is, if they do, are they going to reject as soon as they hit the opening range, or this 4-hour zone, all this wicks to the left here? Because it is going to be extended and exhausted if it pushes up here. That don't mean it can't, and it don't mean it won't, and it don't mean it won't end up 100 points up here somewhere close to the S1 pivot, because they can hang out up here in the overbought and be exhausted and keep pushing. Here he goes. He's going to get the break, maybe. It's hard to put any trust behind them actually doing it, though, after it rejected so much already. Up here so many times. Got about 20 seconds for this candle to close. If they push this downward and close red, I'll be thinking that it needs to be short, possibly. They didn't get to close red. I still have some room on the 5 minute to expand up. Dang. Maybe I should have tried to scalp it on funded account. Good 20-point move there. Did they close? Where'd they close at? Nah, they closed at 722. They're gonna have to close above it good. You know, if that candle would have closed up here, 735 area, this would have looked a lot better for a push higher. You got that hit? You get out at 725, Jake? Yeah, it definitely, it went through it. It swept up there, 735 area. Come on. Yeah, I think Jake was looking for a hit there. I was looking for a break there to see if we'd get some kind of extension. I thought we would find rejection there the way everything was looking. course, I just tried to go on that short and I got stopped out. I don't know. I could see them bringing this all the way back down to 625 to 635 area. I mean, because down here we got so much imbalance on it. Things moving around so much. It's just insane. Yeah, you got that right, Swain. It is a roller coaster. You got that part right too. They are. Crazy thing done come down about gave back 100 points. Nothing but a bunch of whiplash. Good job, Cole. Good job. $97 points. You caught about the whole leg. More than likely. I'd have caught this whole leg. I got in short up here on this red candle, and I got stopped out keeping it too tight. Me leaving a whole bunch on the table there. That's okay though. We're gonna get some expansion down to the downside into this other box here. Maybe. Or down into here, we got a lot of room to the downside on the 5-minute momentum indicator. So I can get rid of this. They filled that. All right, see you, Cole. I'll see you on the next one, buddy. Come back refreshed and at it tomorrow. All right, Swain. We'll be here if you come back. I want to see if they're going to get more downside here. See if they're going to protect this low right here. Maybe pick up this imbalance right in here. Maybe even get down in here and see if they... These are higher lows, but they're nasty looking. I mean, they're all higher. But we don't have higher highs except for this. So... Let's go. Expand. Come on. Back up. Come on. Push that thing hard. Get back up to that other zone. I want out if it's not going to do it. Come on, let's go. Push. Attack this high up here. Trying to give us a little room to breathe because it's got plenty of room for expansion to the top side. I guess I should leave this way down here. I'm in funded, so I really need to lock this in. You know. But also I need to give it room to breathe. You know, if they can act like they want to attack this high up here, if they can get up above the S2 pivot, I'll move my stop pretty tight. That way I can lock in as much as I can in case they try to reject, although they got a lot of room for expansion. As bad as I want to give us time to breathe, I need to lock in. They trying, it looks like there's momentum trying to come into the trade. I'm out. I can't. I had to lock that in right there. All right. Not too bad for a base hit. It looked like there was momentum coming in down here, so I bought this little miniature break here, the initial break, and as soon as I entered, it went my way. I immediately put that stop in to protect myself. You know, they came up in here and filled a little bit of this imbalance up here, looking like they had the legs to go on and push this harder. And they sure have plenty of room to expand to the top side, as you can see down here on the 1 minute. And then the 2 minutes, same way, and the 5 minute. Plenty of room for expansion on up into this area, but the bulls are not in charge of nothing today. Otherwise, this would have done took off on one of these breaks. It just keeps getting hammered back down. Sometimes that's the name of the game. They put a buy signal in just now on the 1 minute on the close that candle. They put a buy signal in on the 5 minute candle, the candle before this one, on the 5 minute. So that'll look better. Maybe got the buy signal on the 1 and 5 at the same time, or the 1 and 2, and even better if it's the 1, 2, and 5 at the same time. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Swing. Nothing wrong with that. Swing, I use a Bull and Ox Trade Day, I like them. Tradeify, and Apex, use them some. And I think that's about, I have used Take Profit. They're all kind of, just depends on factors. I kind of find them all to be somewhat the same. They all, rules differ a little bit here or there. And then, pricing of evals, and then do they have activation fees, or is it included? Either way, it seems like at the end of the day, they're all in line as far as price, because the ones that are real cheap, you got to pay a higher activation fee, but then at the same time, it falls in line with other places where you can pay more up front and not have activation fee. You could save some dollars probably by paying up front first with some places, but then you got to take into account if you don't pass it the first time and you got to reset it, then it all averages out. So unless you're good enough to pass every eval you take the first time, you end up paying more at the places where it costs more up front. Yeah, I try to use end of day on everything I use too. Maybe once I get the community growed big enough, maybe I'll be able to have the code at Tradeify and some of them other places down the road. But I don't think I've tried once to get them, and I'm not big enough yet. I don't think. Yeah, evals. I can use. That's what it boils down to. Oversize and doing crazy stuff like I did earlier in this whip back here when I bought way too many micros and blew them Bullinox evals. I don't mind paying, $19 or something like that for a 50K Bullinox and blowing it like that though, because if you're on the right side of it and you pass it in 1 day or 2 days, they sit there on the sidelines. Like if you already have funded accounts with them, you can have up to 11, but you can't fund all 11 at one time. It goes by your buffer. Like you can fund 3 of them, and then once you get the buffer in one of those, you can get your 4th one, pay to activate that one, and then the 5th one, so on. Once the buffer's put in on 4, or like if you put the buffer in on all 3, you can maybe activate 3 more, stuff like that. But the buffers have to be put in on the first ones. Now, whereas with Apex, well, I hadn't, since they changed the rules, I'm not sure, but you could fund like up to 20 at one time without having to worry about that buffer ordeal. But I guess my thing is if I'm going to be putting up some more risk to try to pass an eval one day, I like the fact that I can have 50 Bullinox evals passed and sitting on the sideline, where some places you have to activate them within a certain amount of time, or they try to be like, no, you don't get it if you don't activate it within a certain time range. And I would just rather Bullinox, theirs go to pending in your dashboard, and if you blow something, you just submit a ticket and ask them to resend you invoice, and they resend you invoice and you activate it. And then of course you got some of these props out here who have resets on their funded accounts, which is insanely high. I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't even know why it's an option, because I don't know. The smart thing would not be to reset a funded account when, for what they ask for a reset price, you could buy a ton more evals. And if you're good at passing them, there ain't no reason to be spending that kind of money resetting a funded account. And the thing is, you got to diversify some because yeah, I get you there. I mean, now I've had some straight to funded Tradefies before, and they work out fine. But yeah, grab a cool hundo. Yeah, I mean, before I were to pay a reset on a funded account, I'd be grabbing for sure a cool hundo or better. Because I know some of them reset fees on the low accounts is like $400 or $500. That's insane. I'd take $400 or $500 and load up on Bullinox or Apex accounts before I did that for dirt cheap. And then well, see, I think with Tradeify's thing, I don't know what happens. I think they say you had to fund them within a certain amount of time. I've never had more than 20 Apex passed at one time, so I don't know if they hold them to the side like Bullinox does or not. So I never been put in a position to have to ask about it. Might be something I ought to reach out to Apex and find out exactly what that's about. Because if it is like Bullinox, then it would be kind of worth. You could stack them up and always have one ready to be funded. You know, if they'll just resend you the invoice, that would be ideal. I'm all the time when I'm cutting content, like looking at other props that are out there. There's so many now, and everybody just particularly thinks about the most popular names that they hear about. But it seems like there's also some good deals out there with some other things. I come across one, can't remember the name. I have to look back. I know I can find it because I think I know where I was at when I seen it. But their eval, I think I seen two different ones. One where you didn't even have to pay for the reset. They just automatically reset them. And I don't mean like at the subscription period. Like it was free to reset, period. Now, you might start to pay at the subscription, but you know, if you got one and you blow it, it won't renew until it subscribes the next bill cycle, monthly cycle. This place, you could reset it like several times if you had to before the next bill cycle to try to pass it for free. Then I seen one that comes with a couple that had, like when you purchase it, it comes with one free reset. If you blow it, you can automatically reset it without paying. I know there's some interest. They're all trying to do interesting things to try to be competitive. You know, that's all that boils down to. See, we got down here and tapped into this little imbalance zone a little bit. Not too sure I'm liking where the momentum indicators are at, but this is looking like another one of these ordeals. Are they going to leg it up? Would have been ideal to grab it down in this area before that leg, but yeah, this is a wild day for sure. If somebody were playing the ranges inside all this since this happened back here, they could have been knocking out of the park some trades, even on small with one micro or two, if they was playing that range. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Easily. Knocking out 80 to 100, 120 points on some of these probably. You'd have to play, and even if you didn't play the range just right, you could still be knocking out, 50 at least. points, 50 points, maybe better. I don't know that I want to get another trade. I've been kind of trading the funded little by little. With one, I got all three of them close to a base hit on the day, $100. So I don't even know if I want to try to push them to put 100 in there. I'd probably get better. Would be better. I'm not as focused in on some of that, like trying to trade the range when I'm streaming like this. I'm doing so much talking. I don't know if it makes sense, but I focus a whole lot more when I'm trading solo by myself, and it's quiet, and I'm just doing it to be trading. Kind of zoom in on a lot of things, and when I'm talking, I'm looking at so many different screens, and it's a little bit distracting, but it's fine. I don't need to be catching that range anyway. That range can be just as deadly as it could be profitable. Jake just said give him your login credentials. He'll get you the money. He'll show me the money, as Jerry Maguire would say. Yeah, that's right, Swang. Stick to the system works. And as traders, that's what we try to do day in and day out. Day in and day out. Yeah, Jake. Yeah, it's always easier to trade when it's somebody else's money for sure. See you, Cole. Yeah, I'll probably be getting off here soon, maybe. It'll be about time to go eat lunch anyway, or do something. Got other things to accomplish. I think I probably will. I'm probably gonna call it somewhere in here, maybe here in the next 5 or 6 minutes, about 12 o'clock here. Probably cut it there. If anything, maybe come back and see if they smooth any of this out later in the day. Maybe look at it power hour and see if there's anything worth looking at. I appreciate everybody who's showed up today to the live stream and the past ones. If anybody is looking to get into the props, you can use code FTE at Bull and Ox or Trade Day. If you want to learn more about the system and the approach that I take with all this, the precision trading course is on FuturestraderElite at gumroad.com. If you want to know more about that, you can look in the Discord and the announcements channel. There's a solo link in there. It has all my links to everything in one place. I had to get on to spam me some. That's a question for Cole. I think that they do now. They didn't, I don't think. Yeah, they because they was using something else, and then they quit using whatever that was. A lot of prop firms was using, and there was a big ordeal. Tradeify was using them, and there was like 2 or 3 other props. It's somebody that I think Top Step uses. Was it Quant Tower? I don't know. There was something else. Project X maybe. But I'm pretty sure Bull and Ox allows Tradeivate now because Cole had some accounts with Bull and Ox that were stuck in limbo, and now he's able to trade them on Ninja. So I think they might have switched it for him. I would look into that. I can't tell you 100%, and I think Cole done left off here for today, or maybe even ask him about it in Discord, because I can't give you a for sure answer on that right this second. Maybe later today I can reach out to him and find out. Yeah, that I'm pretty sure that they done something like that. Otherwise he wouldn't be able, because that's where he's trading from, and he wasn't able to trade them with NinjaTrader. Do you trade from NinjaTrader, Swain? Or where do you trade from? Tradeivate? There's something going on with all that. Maybe NinjaTrader got some kind of rhythmic connection with Tradeivate, maybe. I don't know. Okay, Project X and Tradeivate. Yeah. Look into it and figure it out for sure. Right. Yeah, I know that they own it, but I always found it sort of weird, whatever that connection is there. That I know I've always used, when I started using NinjaTrader and got to using Bull and Ox, I had to download RTrader Pro in order to do the rhythmic connection in the NinjaTrader, which I never use RTrader Pro, but I had to have it and be logged into it to hook or something like that. So I mean, I can just get on NinjaTrader and pull up my Bull and Ox accounts every day, but it's because of having RTrader Pro. I really like trading and executing on NinjaTrader myself. I think I'm going to call it right here for today, guys. Swang, maybe I try to tag a video for you. I got 1 or 2 videos on YouTube where I did some walkthroughs of Ninja. Well, that is mainly on how to hook everything up to Ninja props and all that. But yeah, if you kind of tell me exactly what you're thinking as far as a walkthrough, I could absolutely do one. going over all the basics, because it is, once you get the flow of it, it ain't nothing. But trust me, I was that guy at one point with NinjaTrader. Anytime you learn a new platform, it gets that way. Okay, yeah, I don't know if the video I have up there now, I have to look back myself at what I've got on there about walking through NinjaTrader on YouTube. I'm not sure I have one that just goes completely over the basics. You thinking maybe open it, how to set the settings up and load charts and all that mess, instruments. It really is a lot simpler than it looks, but it didn't seem that way the first time I did it. I had a lot of questions, let me tell you. And it took me a whole lot of figuring out how to do some things. It took me, I think, 6 months. I'd see people posting online about how they have all their accounts on their control center in NinjaTrader from 4 different prop firms and could see them at one time and switch back and forth. I couldn't find nobody in like 4 or 6 months that could tell me how to do that. And when I talked to NinjaTrader, they told me it wasn't possible. I talked to a prop firm, somebody, they're like, something changed. You can't do that no more. And then lo and behold, like months later, I was reading through something on Apex's site and some of their frequently asked questions, and they had the simplest answer. And I'd been trying for months for somebody to tell me how to make all my accounts appear at one time. I read through them, tried it, it worked, and immediately I made a video about it because I could not find one video on YouTube that would walk through the process in layman's terms. I mean, it wasn't that hard to explain, but I couldn't find a video that explained it, period. And so I put one of those out there, and that's helped a lot of people, I guess, because a lot of people were having the same trouble I was having. Yeah, I didn't think it was either, at least not right out of the gate. Yet I think about that about a whole lot of things when I first start them, that they're that way, but just about learning the new system, I guess. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up right here inside some of this chop we're doing sideways. The ATR is back down to 12, maybe pushing a little lower. Go get me some lunch. Hopefully see all you guys back here tomorrow, same time as usual. And we'll get back at it and see if we can have us another great day. Appreciate everyone showing up. If you could, if you watch anything or any of those shorts I put on YouTube or long form, smash that like button and comment and share if you would. Help that algorithm get everything to grow. And I will see you here. Yeah, you're welcome, Jeff. I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate you guys showing up.